What does a Nigerian Lebanese billionaire, the United States State Department, the Clinton Global Initiative, $1 billion, the 2009 Lebanese Prime Minister election, and possibly two terrorist organizations have in common? Welcome back to the Independent Reporter, and today, yes, we're finally going to talk about the Hillary Clinton email scandal, the one that, yes, you probably have not heard much about because, well, let's be honest, there's just not much facts about it, but we'll try to set them out clear for you, and maybe in future videos we'll have, further discussions and further sources on this whole issue. But today we're looking at just pretty much what the email stuck up by Judicial Watch has uncovered. And it's pretty much going back all the way to 2009. We see someone named Doug Band. He used to be an old associate and assistant to Bill Clinton during the Bill Clinton administration. He now conveniently works for the Clinton Global Initiative, designated by Hillary Clinton. He was contacted by a Lebanese Nigerian billionaire, which always sounds nice, named Gilbert Chaguri. Now, Chaguri, what he wanted was kind of, again, a little bit fishy. He wanted to talk to the top advisor or official in Lebanon for the United States. So Doug Band decided to put the things in motion, get Clinton's associates at the time in the State Department, not to be confused when they later had jobs in the Clinton Global Initiative. Again, very odd. Specifically said, quote, "As you know, he's a key guy, and he is loved by us." So, I mean, this shows that Doug Band thought Chaguri was really important to the Clintons and to the United States. So Abedin later responded to Band saying that they should email a guy named Jeffrey Felton. He just left his post as ambassador to Lebanon from the United States. Coincidentally, he had just started his post as the Assistant Secretary for Near East Affairs, which handled pretty much all of the Middle East and Northern Africa for the United States. So a little bit of a really high position there. Anyway, you may be wondering what Chaguri wanted to talk about. Well, nothing too big except the upcoming Lebanese Prime Minister election, which normally is pretty big. But this one, very important because the Lebanese government had just been reformed after essentially a civil war and massive social demonstrations. Not to be confused with the Arab Spring, but still something very big. So this prime minister thing, which again, prime minister second in command to the president, normally not very big, but this time huge stuff. So that's pretty much where the trail kind of ends. There is other mention in these sets of emails that the State Department was asked to, quote unquote, take care of a very important person to the Clintons. Now, this person's name was redacted in the email, so we actually don't know who it was. And we don't know if it was important at all. And, we don't want to focus too much on this because this stuff happens all the time. Someone may be put in charge of being the ambassador to the Vatican City from the United States. Not exactly the biggest position in the world. And that could just come down to, the friend of the president getting that. But still, that is corruption on small levels. But again, considering what both candidates are facing right now, this is not even headline stuff. But the question is this Chaguri person wanting to talk to the Lebanese ambassador or, whoever it is there, how big is that? Well, if we look back on the Chaguri whole side of things, Chaguri donated between $1 and $5 million to the Clintons' run for president in 2008, and also donated money to Bill Clinton's administration. The later amounts for Bill Clinton's wasn't exactly made clear, but it wasn't that much, considering the fact that Chaguri had just pledged $1 billion. Yes, $1 billion. This person's only worth $4 billion. He pledged $1 billion of that to the Clinton Global Initiative. Now, you know what? There's plenty of billionaires in the world. You may be thinking, he might just be pledging his money. He might want to, help the Clintons. Well, where did he get this money? Well, if we look back on it, we find that Chaguri was actually very up close with an old Nigerian dictator Now, he was accused, both of them, in fact, were accused of taking money from the Nigerian government through aid and all that stuff. And he was convicted in international court, but he decided to give back $300 million to the Nigerian government after the death of the dictator, and all charges were erased, essentially. He was then found again in about 2010. International courts wanted him arrested for corruption charges. So again, he paid $66 million and got away with it. So, not the best shining example of things. He also had his companies give $180 million in bribes. Not quite sure where the source went to, but a lot of things. However, that was again found out, and they paid $579 million in fines. So, I mean, this person is not, the best thing in the world. He was also on a no-fly list in the United States in 2010. They say it was a mix-up. It could have been a mix-up. It probably was. The United States government saying that, he could fly freely. If he was supposed to be on there, he would have stayed on there. But it doesn't change the fact that someone put him on that list. So a little bit weird. But anyway, it looks kind of pretty bad, and we'll talk about later, why Chuguri is much worse. We'll do a video on the links in Nigeria. However, a senator from Louisiana noticed this very unsettling thing and wrote an email to John Kerry specifically about Hillary Clinton's refusal to put Boko Haram on the terrorist watch list. Now, this senator essentially wrote, it was kind of obvious at the time that Boko Haram was a terrorist group. They had committed terrorist attacks. They bombed the United Nations envoy. A lot of really bad things. And why Hillary Clinton would not put them on. Now, again, you may remember this was actually a big scandal back a few years ago. People kind of forgot about it. But again, we'll talk about this later. But Hillary Clinton this was spotted out by a member of the United States Senate. And it was also linked back to Gilbert Chuguri, because Chuguri had been found out giving a lot of money to Clintons, and also was noted that Chuguri, his businesses benefited a lot over the unrest in Nigeria. So when we look at it, it's a very shady businessman putting a lot of money, $1 billion, that's a lot of money, back into the Clinton Global Initiative. And all in all, this really does blur the lines between the Clinton administration, both of them, to be specific, and the Clinton Global Initiative. So who knows what this is. This is just a couple emails dug up. Could be thousands more. But it's not looking good for Hillary Clinton. It's not looking good for a bunch of these different dictators. We've heard connections about Saudi Arabia, but who knows? All we know now is what I just said, and we're waiting for more stories to come out in the upcoming weeks, months, however long it takes to get out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this recap of this Clinton email scandal. Hope you stay tuned in for maybe part 2, part 3 of the continuing coverage on this, because it's not going away anytime soon, and I guarantee you we do not have enough information, and there's a lot more. So take care, guys. This is The Independent Reporter. Please like, subscribe, share. Just talk about it, comment. We'll comment back to you. But anyway, take care.